Welcome back to the Women in AV podcast. I am your host, Erica Carroll, and today we're diving into another inspiring story of a woman breaking barriers in the audiovisual world and celebrating their accomplishments and working towards better visibility and representation in pro AV. Now, today is a special episode. We're doing a crossover event with AV Career Mastermind. So not only do we have a special guest, Jasmine Coble, but we also have Jennifer Weaver. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Erica. I'm so excited to do this today.
Jasmine, thank you so much for sharing your story on this episode. We are about to dive in here. I am just curious to jump in. How did you even learn about AV?
So I was very lucky that my dad and my stepmom are both in the AV industry. They are AV veterans. They've been in the industry for 25, 30 years, both of them. My dad warned me not to get into AV, but I did it anyway. Here I am with YCD. I started back in July, and despite all of his warnings, it's been going pretty well. I've had a pretty strong start.
Why would he tell you not to get into the industry? I'm very interested in hearing that.
He definitely told me that I should be in the industry because he loved it, but he warned me that there are times and things you have to watch out for, especially when you're working in channels. And it's a very niche and specific industry. And when you get in it, you never leave.
That's a good path in. My son is also in AV. My oldest son, my youngest son is too, much into science and chemical engineering and stuff. But my oldest is also in the industry. And I think that's an easy path to get into AV. But makes me curious, though, you had a job before this that wasn't AV and you chose it anyway.
I did.
So how did that opportunity come up where it made you think I could be in this industry as well?
So when I graduated college, I graduated in 2024. The day I walked the stage, I got hired on with a company called Creator IQ. It was a creator marketing SaaS platform, and I loved it. It was an amazing job. I loved my team. But I was commuting 3 hours every day and sitting in traffic both ways an hour and a half, it was horrible. It's a soul suck. So after that, I realized, I really wanted to stay in tech. I really wanted to stay in AV, in tech in any way, stay creative and go with AV. And that's how we ended up here. Stuart Armstrong, who is a very well-known consultant in the industry, he reached out to me with this opportunity with YCD Multimedia, and I interviewed with them, and I ended up jumping into this position, managing our North American sales with YCD, and I'm really happy I took that opportunity.
That's awesome. So what does your job look like now? Like in a day-to-day, what kind of role do you have?
So I run all of our business development and sales and account management for our North American market. I work fully remote from home, so I don't have a 3-hour commute every day, which is amazing. And excellent. I work directly with Ido Avaram and Andrew Salvieja. They are my beautiful team. And we're really just collaborating every day, talking with our channel partners, talking with our clients. It's your regular sales job in a way.
Yeah. But you're managing North America.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So coming in young in the industry, right? Lots of us that have been in the industry, working in the industry, we start regionally, right? We start with a small, I live in South Florida. So when I first got in the industry, I had one customer, right? I was in K through 12. I had one customer. And then I moved to several counties. And then I kind of stayed there for a while. And then I became director of education sales, but really director of education sales for a state, not.
Right.
So coming in younger and not having a smaller territory, were you intimidated? Was it no big deal? Was it, I've got this? What's the thought there?
It was definitely intimidating, and it still is intimidating. I'm very, very busy all the time, and time management is key. I have to be on it all the time. There's never a day where I can just take a break and step away or slack off, because there are so many accounts and so many clients and partners that need me at all times. But I was super excited to just have so much responsibility. Being young, starting my career, I really wanted to show that I had the potential to do that, and just kind of prove to everybody that even though you're young, even though you're a woman, you're coming in, you can do all of these things. I could do all of these things. And is it hard? Yes, absolutely. Am I busy and stressed? Absolutely. But is it totally worth it? Absolutely. So it's a lot. I know most people are typically running a region, and most people I talk to are typically running a region. So it's not your typical way to go about it, but I think it's working just fine. I think it's working well.
Good.
Yeah.
What has mentorship looked like for you? Or, I mean, as you took on this new role, a huge responsibility. I know you have your parents to lean on as well. But how has that taken form in mentorship for you?
A lot of my conversations have started with me just reaching out on LinkedIn and saying, hey, I'm new to the industry, especially my first 3 months. And I was totally honest and said, I really have no idea what I'm doing. Would you mind just taking a call with me and just having a chat? And I have brought on or found multiple mentors. Is it okay if I list them?
Totally fine. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Will Bullens of Hyperquake. He was so receptive to just having a call with me and introducing me to new people. Sean McChesney from Electrosonic, he's their CRO. I've only had a few conversations with him, but he was super accepting, wanted to tell me about strategy, talk to me about who I need to know. Same thing with my team, Ito and Andrew. They've fully taken me on and they answer all my silly questions and they're fully there for me all the time. Honestly, I feel like there have been a lot of people that are just ready to pass on their knowledge and bring me in fully into the industry. I've been really lucky in that way.
That's awesome. So do you see yourself imparting that same knowledge? Like if somebody was to come in to the industry, how would you pay it back?
Absolutely. I would love to connect with people that are coming into the industry. There are very few people that I know that are currently in the industry that are even around my age range. There is one person that I know who is younger than me, but he is killing it, and he is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. He should be watched out for because he's doing really, really well. There's no knowledge for me to pass on to him. If anything, he's going to pass it to me. But in the future, I would love to start a group of people coming into the industry, like kind of how y'all are doing with the podcast, talking about up and coming careers, the new start to the industry. Making sure everybody knows that we're all here together because it is very niche and very close together, and you come in not knowing anybody, and it is a little scary because these people have these lifelong partnerships, but you need to build those really young, and you need to build those right off the beginning. So if anybody's new and they need a friend to talk to, I'm here for it. I would love to talk.
That's amazing. And being able to talk to people that we say are seasoned, right, within the industry. So I took a couple notes because I always think about this too on some of the people that you have reached out to that you're doing as your mentorship. Did you or have you reached out to any of the, and I'm going to say it, non-typical male in the industry?
The non-typical male.
Yes, because we talk about this, and what Erica's doing with women in AV, and what I do with AV Career Masterminds, right? We want to uplift that voice of the diversity, right, within the industry, and we always talk about. And everybody knows this, and we're not saying anything that people don't know. When you look at the industry, it's your white male, right? Within a certain age range, those are phasing out. So they have so much knowledge to give, but coming from a perspective of diversity, coming from a perspective of a female. So do you have anybody, say, other than your mom? Because moms are always, I'm a mom, we're always going to give certain information, right? We always, because we want to protect our babies. But outside of your mom, do you have anybody within, like, a female, either in the industry or even outside of the industry, that is going to give you some mentorship on, how to excel in a career as a woman?
Yes, absolutely. I can't believe I even left them out in the beginning. I feel horrible. These women actually have been really amazing. Chris Rogers of AVISPL, she is an absolute joy, and she is so skilled. She's so knowledgeable, and she is very, very high up in her role and in her company. She took me on, and she's had a couple conversations with me. She's super busy as well, so we don't talk super often, but just the few that we've had, I've loved and super appreciated. Jackie Lavoie, she's with S&A Displays. amazing. Again, super nice. I really can't wait to go to Atlanta and just have a chat with her, maybe have a lunch. Rebecca Meyer with AVISPL. I just met with her this week. Also amazing. Michelle Lorette. God, there's so many of them.
You've got some great names there.
You've got some good ones. Yeah.
Yes, they're great. They're really great.
How did you get plugged in with them?
Chris Rogers, I was introduced to by Joe Whitesides. Jackie, I was introduced to by Hasib Khalid, who is the person that's younger than me that I said is the force to be reckoned with. He's amazing. He's now with Alpha US as an integrator. He's doing really great work. Rebecca Meyer was introduced to me by Mark Coxon at AVISPL. And Michelle Lorette is one of my stepmom, Chris Murgo's friends. So I was able to get plugged in with her.
Excellent. That's that's a great list.
Yes. They're all super receptive, really receptive.
I want to shift the conversation just a little bit and get to know you as a person, because I know that work is important to all of us, and a lot of us are workaholics. But outside of work, what are you passionate about?
Outside of work, I am currently training for a half marathon. So I run 20 plus miles a week while I'm training for this. That's what keeps me sane, especially because I am a workaholic and I'm working all the time, running a lot. I've got bad knees now and I'm okay with it. It's just how it goes. I'm big on traveling. I love to travel. Like I said, I spent 3 weeks up in Wyoming in an RV. I'm about to spend a couple of weeks in Fredericksburg and the Ozarks. And I've got my two good dogs. I've got a black lab and a husky who I spend all of my time with, and they're very happy I get to work remote. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. If I'm not working, I'm running. And if I'm not running and working, I'm traveling.
As you know, we travel in an RV, and I'm absolutely a dog lover as well. I have 2 Aussies that we travel with. So I am all about that. Not so much for the running, for choice. Nobody's chasing me. But I do love my bike.
I can't even go that far anymore. I think I need to be 2 feet on the ground, so I do my yoga.
Yoga's good.
Yeah, I'm big into working out, big into running, scared of biking. Last time I got on a bike, I fell on a cactus and had to bike 6 miles covered in cactus needles. So I'm not a fan of that anymore.
Oh, yeah. My bike keeps me active. So
that's good.
So I've gotten older, I like my feet on the ground when it comes to that type of exercise.
So in the spirit of continual learning, is there anything you're reading or listening to, or anything that you have learned recently that is worth sharing?
I read a lot of fiction. I'm very into, big into fiction. I'm not reading any self-help or anything like that. I probably should be. It's 2026 and we're starting the new year. I should be doing some more self-help stuff, but
we all say it.
Good. Yes, I know. It's like, I'm going to focus more on myself this year. And then here we are just running 20 miles a week. That's all we're doing.
Something that stood out for me, I've been reading more fiction lately too, which is so not me. But it was more so like things I've been reading are about time travel. And there was an author that started using a phrase, anywhen. So it's like not anywhere, but you can go anywhen you want, like forward or backward in time.
That's cool.
I like that.
That's awesome. Next month, my goal for the month is to learn a new skill and take a class and learn a skill. So next month, I'm going to do a pottery class. And I'm also going to learn how to swing dance and jitterbug. Those are going to be my new skills. Yeah.
East Coast swing or West Coast swing?
Probably East Coast swing. Is there?
Okay.
Yeah. Anything that's going to be close enough to two-stepping. I mean, I live in Texas. I'm near Austin. So I like to do the spins and the flips and be out at the two-step bars as much as I can.
That's awesome. I went through a swing phase once upon a time. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And then last summer, I started throwing pottery.
Really?
So we travel with a wheel in our RV as well now.
That's awesome. I feel like you are what I aspire to be. Like when I grow up, I want to be you. That sounds so much fun.
Your kid gets to see all the fun places, work from anywhere. You get to do all of that good stuff.
Yeah, there's downsides too. You know, there's a lot of planning involved and things go sideways in RVs all the time. So hopefully not physically sideways. That would be terrible. But
No, I get it. After the 3 weeks in the RV, I totally get it.
So you're in a unique spot where you have a family that's in AV. So obviously you're going to have a natural drive. You're also plugged into some really great people that will keep you in the industry. But what if something comes next, and God forbid, your company isn't around anymore? Would you stay in the industry?
I think I would. I think absolutely I would. So I went to DSE. I had the best time meeting everybody in the industry. It's the only trade show I've been to so far, but just the camaraderie and the family style. And I know this is so cliche, but it really is one giant family that's in this industry. And there are so many different places that I could go. I could go into integration. I could go into hardware manufacturing. I could go into screens. I could go wherever. I'm happy here. I love it here. I love YCD, and I'm not planning to leave YCD at any time. But say something horrible happens, I think I definitely would stay in the AV industry.
And you're in Texas, right?
I am.
So I think I just saw it posted, but if you are not already, which I believe YCD is a member of the Digital Signage Federation, DSF's Mix and Mingle, I think is coming to us. And that is definitely those are great events to go to. So with DSE being your first show, kind of bigger show, are you inclined to look at some things that are outside of digital signage and attending some of those other events? Or right now, are you thinking, I just want to get the grasp and understand content and signage and kind of focus on that right now?
Right now, because I am so new and I'm fully developed into YCD and I have so much responsibility, digital signage is my full focus at all times. That's all I'm really thinking about, and content. I say that I've only been to DSC. I've only been to DSC with YCD. I've been going to Infocom since I was 16.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've been traveling around with my dad doing Infocom. I love looking at the live production side of things, the event production side. That would be a dream at some point down the road to do that. But right now I'm fully developed into digital signage. That's where my whole mind is.
So then if you've been going to Infocom since you were 16, what at Infocom for you as a young, not knowing high schooler, right? Just maybe in college, even if you were in college, what was Infocom missing for you in that age group attending?
Gosh, for me, when I wasn't fully in the AV industry yet, Infocom was missing more interactive experiences. I feel like that's a large part of it now, but when I was going back to it in 2016, 2018, interactivity wasn't a huge thing. It was a lot of digital signage. Of course, I was walking around the live event sections and looking at all the crazy screens, but being able to actually get hands-on with the technology would have been a lot cooler for me at the time, especially when you're thinking about getting in the industry, or even if you're not, but that's a way to bring people in. The big flashy stuff that everybody wants to see. Now I'd be a lot more interested in the technology and the media players and the hardware section of it. But as a 16, 18-year-old, I really wanted to see some cool interactive installations.
Okay. That's so cool. That's one thing that when I started in the industry, I had the privilege of going to Infocom and CEDIA in the same year. My first year in the industry, and CEDIA was more like made it more relatable. Yeah. But this is an interesting conversation because on an AVIXA side, they have the AVIXA Foundation where they're bringing in young professionals, and then they have the Young Professional Council, and they're trying to get people injected into the industry. But if there was like a new professionals or an interested professionals pavilion where it was sort of more like a playground that sort of breaks down like the signal distribution and what are the different aspects. And honestly, when you mentioned something about being more interactive and experiential, I think QSE has done a really great job of doing that in their booths in Infocom the last 2 years, of really being able to say like, hey, we have QSYS, which is a software platform. By the way, this is what that means and what it makes possible.
Right.
So you actually get to like experience the different scenarios, and there's endless scenarios for their platform.
Right.
but all of the things that they can bring together to make happen.
Exactly. Like if YCD was going to go and talk about our CMS, we wouldn't just want to show a demo of our software license. We would actually want to show a really interactive video wall with multiple layers of alpha transparency so you can actually have a tangible result that makes it super interesting to interact with your booth and interact with the people that are there. And that's how I feel like you're going to engage the younger population who aren't super interested on the back end software side or the back end QSIS platform side or any of that, just showing them the actionable result that you can get with your technology.
And I definitely think those young kiddos, they're there, right? But yes, the majority of them, I mean, I have a 16-year-old. I say to him, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't know. I go, why don't you get in the AV industry? All he does is he thinks I sit in front of my computer and talk to people all day long. I'm like, yeah, but you don't see when I go out. Like, there's a lot of jobs that just sit in front of their computer and talk to people all day long. Like, you don't get to see when I'm traveling and actually visiting my customers and things like that. But that's getting them engaged, right? There definitely are going to be those engineering kind of ones that are wanting to build it. But I think more of them want to see the fun part of it and then go, oh yeah, I know I could probably build that.
This would be really great because a lot of us are sitting in front of our computer all day, but I'm working on really cool designs with my sales engineer, Andrew. We're sitting there looking at this really intricate design for a project right now. And that's super interesting to me, especially being so new. I'm like, this is going to look great. And I'm going to have a hand in creating this really great experiential event or experience for someone. So you just have to make it seem like, or not seem like, you have to be able to talk about how fun your job really is when your kiddos only see you just sitting at your laptop having Teams calls all day.
Yeah, right. Jasmine, so we have a tradition on our show where the previous guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing who it might be, and I'll get your question from you later. But your question is, if your career had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't want it to be super cheesy, but it would be Don't Stop Believing.
Oh, that's a good
okay.
one. My Gen X heart is very happy that you just threw out a Journey song. I can't
It really is. The possibilities are there. The opportunities are there. So don't stop believing. It's all coming to you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet. You can find me on LinkedIn, Jasmine Coble. Okay. You can find me on blog posts on YCD Multimedia's page. You can find me mostly on LinkedIn and email. My email, I can list it somewhere. Reach out to me anytime. I'm always open for a conversation.
Wonderful. You can find me in all of the social places with the handle @the_Erica_Carroll. And thank you again to our listeners. As always, if you're listening to this as audio only, be sure to check out the YouTube version and vice versa. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also find us anywhere you get your podcasts. And also remember, there is an extended cut to this episode. So be sure to check that out on one of our partner shows over on AVNation at AV Career Mastermind on avnation.tv.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is Erin Marmoran of EdTech. The world of higher ed AV is growing rapidly. That's why each month we hear from the best and brightest from colleges and universities all over the U.S. Check out EdTech on avnation.tv or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.